Good morning. Today I'm going to be challenging myself with the classic Gymshark challenge. You would have seen it going around. It's where they pick up the largest dumbbell they have in their gym, which is 100 kilos with just one hand. It's a test of not only grip but also your ability to deadlift with just one arm instead of two. And 100 kilos is no joke, especially when the dumbbell is the size that it is. And I luckily know a place around here that has dumbbells to match. So my challenge is going to be to go there, warm up and lift a 100 kilo dumbbell. Can someone with this body type, classic ectomorph genetics, lift a 100 kilo dumbbell and defeat the Gymshark challenge? Well, I'm going to back myself, but let's have a look and see. To get warm first, made sure I did all my stretches, made sure the hips were good, the squatting movement was good. I actually did this challenge post chest day, so my legs hadn't been warmed up at all. Did some air squats as well, just to get the movement pattern down. I think people were giving me some strange looks as I was literally there just squatting to the 15 kilo dumbbell up and down. But little did they know it was about to get a hell of a lot heavier. The last thing I wanted was to get injured doing something like this, so I did make sure I was properly warmed up. I took some pretty reasonable jumps, going from 15 to 30, 50, 70, 80, and then 100. All the way up I used just a regular grip, including the 85 kilo dumbbell, which I did kind of a middle ground between 80 and 90, because I am a big fan of just testing out my grip. One of the hardest parts of the challenge was just putting the dumbbell back on the rack and taking it off in the first place. Because the dumbbells are so big and awkward on the bottom rack, it's hard to actually get in a good position to lift them off, because you're actually having to lean right over and then pull the dumbbell up. So wasn't a big fan of that. Felt very sketchy at times, and I feel like a couple of dumbbells were just centimetres away from coming back down onto my foot. I was in the zone here on the 100 kilo dumbbell, having just missed 2 attempts. I locked my grip in as tight as I could and then just kept my arms straight as possible and pulled up, and it started to lift, left the floor and then just flew. Here is some footage of me struggling to put the 100 kilo dumbbell back on the rack. Hopefully you enjoy that. So there we have it. That was the 100 kilo dumbbell strength challenge that I did actually manage to do, believe it or not. My confidence level was actually quite high, as my deadlift has tended to be quite good in the past, but with a dumbbell of that size, just the awkwardness of the lift and how long it is does make a huge difference. Like in the Gymshark challenge, just doing it straight with no hook grip was proving very difficult. I could lift it off the ground, but there was no way I was getting that any further. So I did have to use a hook grip where you pull your thumb in and then just tuck your fingers over. I don't normally hook grip, so my technique is probably not the best. But anyway, still managed to get it up, which was very good indeed. So I'm proud of that. If you want me to take on some bigger dumbbells, then please do leave a like and a comment of where I can actually find them, because finding dumbbells up to 100 kilos is hard enough. Any higher than that, I don't think gyms even bother, because they know no one's going to touch them and they'll be sitting there gathering dust and collecting cobwebs. I also didn't take any chalk for some reason to the gym that day. Probably would have been a good idea, considering I was lifting dumbbells and testing my grip strength. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like on the video and consider subscribing for more fitness content. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care and enjoy yourself. See you later.